Ladies and gentlemen, to Dubbo Sports World for the final game of the 2016 Australian Junior Indoor Cricket Championships. It's a 17 and under boys grand final. It will take place between Victoria and Western Australia. I'm joined by their captains now. Callan Gilboy, the captain of Victoria, or the co-captain, will come and join me over here eventually. Callan, how are you feeling about the game?
A little nervous, but eager to get out there.
It's a very close division, the 17 under boys. The top three sides all finishing on the same points at the end of the rounds games, but you guys would probably feel you had the edge with the victories over Western Australia in the last two times you played them.
Yeah, it was a tie contest, and the additional rounds really helped us get to the top.
Very good. Do you have any last words for the troops?
Just fight for our state and play hard. Play fair.
Very good. Thanks, Callan. Go and join your team. And the Western Australia captain, Noah Criddle-White. How are you feeling about the game, mate?
Yeah, pretty confident, to be honest, with the underdogs coming in, so we don't have much to lose, and if we win, we're pretty stoked, to be honest.
Unsurprisingly, you guys deserve your confidence. A pretty comprehensive win over the ACT in the preliminary final, so you come into this game with a lot of momentum. Do you think you can use it?
Yeah, most definitely. I was pretty happy with the boys' performance against ACT, and like you said, I hope we bring that into this game.
Any last words for the troops?
No, just don't leave anything out in the court, boys, and just do WA proud, eh?
Very good. Join your teammates. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The two sides ahead of what promises to be an amazing game of indoor cricket here at Sports World Dubbo. If I could ask everyone in the centre to please be upstanding. It's now time for the Australian National Anthem. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The national anthem ahead of a national final is always a stirring moment in sport and a good opportunity for these two teams to use some emotion and get themselves set for what promises to be an amazing game. I'm joined now by Anton Croxford. Anton, good afternoon.
Thank you, Cam. Yeah, very much looking forward to this grand final. Building really nicely. Obviously, we've had some great grand finals in the other divisions, and looking forward to seeing these 17s go at it. So,
yeah, they're the senior division at the tournament, at least in the boys division, I should say. They're the size of some of these players.
Mate, I'll tell you what, these WA boys are big boys, and they've got some good growth on the beards as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, Victoria won the toss and they've elected to bat. Why don't you take us through the two teams, Anton?
Yeah, sure. So from WA, we have our captain, Noah Criddle-White, Joshua Fontana, Ross Nesbitt, Jesse Mesray, Ethan Claw, Harvey Golding, Jesse Goldsworthy, and Riley Cameron closing out the Western Australian side. For Victoria, have the captain, Daniel Juracic, I think. Juracic, yep. Emily Tate, Daniel Van Hees, Callan Gilboy, Ben Zoma, Jav James, Hugo Ferdinand, and James McPhee.
And the match will be umpired by James Groves from Western Australia. Noah Criddle-White, the Western Australian captain, has the ball in hand to bowl the first over to his Victorian counterparts in co-captains. Here we go. Plenty of width there. Solid shot in the end, but I think that was the back net first, so just a single. Always important that the first over of the match is sets the tone for the innings. So I always like to see the captain stand up and take the ball, and Noel Criddle-White doing that today.
Bold move.
Oh, great shot, Callan Gilboy. Down up 4 for the first shot off his first ball in a grand final. That will do him wonders.
Yeah, great play by Gilboy there. Just over pitching a little bit, Criddle-White.
Yeah, just fended into the leg side net there for 2 runs.
Confident start here by Victoria.
Yeah, it certainly is. They're not going to be afraid of playing their shots. They know that they're going to need a score up of around 100, 110 to be comfortable here. Yeah, good call of weight. The ball straight back down the pitch.
Criddle-White really pitching it up here, bowling nice and full, trying to encourage that drive. Also obviously trying to get through the defences early. These Victorians coming around the wicket now.
Yeah, it's a great ball just inside the line there, so the Victorians will finish the over on 3rd ball, and if you're just joining us and you're new to indoor cricket, that means the score has to change on this delivery, so it's either got to be an extra or a run or a wicket for the Western Australians.
A nice comeback over here from Criddle-White. Gilboy
got some bat on it, and they get through safely, so they see off a 3rd ball situation and take 8 runs from Noah Criddle-White's over. A good start for the Victorians.
Always nice to get through that first over without any wickets.
This is the 4th national final that Victoria are appearing in today, and they've won the other 3, so that must give the boys some confidence.
Super strong tournament for Victoria in the juniors. They've obviously got their program right, their talent pathways. Also a lot of pressure on these Victorians then to make sure that they come through with the result.
It'll be Golding to bowl the 2nd over for Western Australia. And that in-swinger is pushed too far down the leg, so a leg side and 2 runs to the total.
Golding is just the 2 wickets from the tournament.
Yeah, great shot again from Gilboy. It's given 3 correctly. Is that right, Anton? 2 wickets for Golding.
2 wickets,
That's a phenomenal statistic.
It's getting some nice shape here, so.
Pushing another leg side. It's often the way, isn't it? We have a bowler that's effective and doesn't necessarily claim a lot of wickets. Sometimes just unlucky or the field letting them down. And he's just struggling to control the movement here. He's probably starting it too far down leg side, so the movement just taking it all the way.
It's quite weird that he's coming around the wicket with his in-swing. Might be better off coming over the wicket and really using that shape.
Yeah, I agree. Noah Criddle-White coming all the way up from cover to speak to his bowler. A much better delivery. Started that one off and brought it back into middle. It's now the last ball of the over.
Interesting what Criddle-White said there. I think he might have just said, just slow it down a little bit.
And another leg side to finish. So it's a poor over for Western Australia. From the Western Australian point of view. 11 runs from it, and Victorians 19 runs with just 2 overs down.
Yeah, very dominant start with the bat. Looking to score 35-40 here, unless Western Australia can pull it back.
The Victorian batsmen certainly batting well, but 8 of the runs that came off the previous over were courtesy of extras, and you just can't afford those in the grand final.
It's just too easy. It's just a pressure release for the batsman.
Now it's Nesbitt coming on to bowl for WA. This side unchanged from the team that won the preliminary final in convincing fashion against the Australian Capital Territory.
Nesbitt's got 5 wickets for the over, so slightly more striking bowler.
Yeah, another good shot from Gilbert. Probably wasn't as high as he would have liked into the net, but it was in the gap, so still a safe shot.
Looking very confident with anything full here, Gilboy. All of his drives have played very well.
And that'll be the 5th extra and the 10th run for free. And we're in the early stages of the 3rd over, Anton.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. I'm sure the coach from Western Australia would not be happy.
2 runs. Doing it a little too easy at the moment, Victoria. 25 runs with 9 balls remaining in their innings. Looking very comfortable.
And that's providing there's no extras in that last over.
Yeah, good piece of fielding there in the front court there. That's Ethan Claw. He's very handy there on that leg side position. Very straight. Short, played square into the net. Element of risk to that run with 2 fielders on leg side, but they get through for 2.
Yeah, especially with these highly sprung nets. Anything played into those side nets just drops straight back to the middle.
Last ball. Short and correctly called high. The slap from Criddle White just missing the stump, so 4 runs off that delivery. And my, the Victorians on 31 with an over to come.
Yeah, still no wickets for Western Australia, and they really need a wicket in this last over to regain some momentum.
We've seen so many matches during this tournament turn on a dime, and imagine what this over would look like if they did take 2 wickets off it. They're on 31 now, looking good for 40 plus. 2 wickets could keep them in the mid-20s. It would be an amazing reversal of momentum.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they haven't gone to one of their strike bowlers. You look at Fontana, he's got 9 wickets for the tournament. By far their strongest bowler. Goldsworthy on here.
Yeah, Goldsworthy the bowler. I suspect, as they take a single, I suspect that the WA strategy may simply be to almost concede this pair. And they may have identified some other pairs that they really want to attack. But if Goldsworthy throws in a couple more of those, that's a decision they may live to regret.
Still far too many extras, especially for a grand final. You want to be building pressure wherever possible.
And the extras in the last over of a batting pair can be rebowled. And when you're batting first, well, just about all the time they get rebowled. So far, 3 deliveries, but still 5 remaining, courtesy of those 2 extras.
Getting a little bit straighter there. Still too easy for Gilboy.
An aggressive call, safe in the end. Juricic not happy with the shot, but it's a good single and just keeps the score ticking over.
Goes to show the confidence, you know, when you haven't got out yet, even when you don't hit the ball cleanly.
Oh, and a chance goes down.
That was a sitter too.
Yeah,
Real
double error
easy.
from Golding. Not only did he put the catch down, but there was a run out on it at the top end and he went to the wrong one. So that's a real let-off for the Victorians with 2 balls remaining. A great shot and a good piece of fielding from Messeret there in the front court, or Messier.
Don't think we'll see anything silly here from Victoria. They've done exactly the job they needed.
And another leg side ticks the score past 41 and gifts Victoria another delivery.
Already you're seeing some heads go down in Western Australia here.
Oh, and a great finish there from the Victorian co-captain. What a partnership it is. 43 runs to start in a national final. 23 runs to Juricic and 20 to Gilboy. My, what a start.
Yeah, just paving the way for dominance, really, with the bat. The second pair would be coming in here, feeling as though they're already on top, even though they haven't even seen a ball. Western Australia feeling the pressure, and they're going to have to come back strong See Fontana talking to his dad.
And it's Van Hees and Jam that are coming out to keep the roll going for Victoria. I did see in the major semi-final this pair get into some trouble early with some probably unnecessarily aggressive batting. Maybe Western Australia fancy themselves a chance again.
It was definitely not required at this stage. 43 runs on the board.
Claws the bowler.
Strong call of no.
Yeah, fairly fortunate that ball got above Golding there because Jam was backing up. There was probably a chance for a run out.
Great tournament by Van Hees. 113 runs.
Oh, and another chance goes down.
Get something on that, did he?
Yeah, well, I heard the two sounds. It was either bat or ball going hand-hand for the keeper, but for mine, he hit that.
Third ball opportunity here.
Yeah, good job from both batter and fielder there.
It's a good start here from WA. They're putting the balls in the right areas with this pair. Something they were unable to do with the first pair.
Yeah,
Good
great shot.
by Jam.
Yep. And another extra. They're going to, Western Australia going to rue those. There's 4, 5, 8, 9 of them already.
Wow.
18 runs in extras. Flat shot, but into the gap, so safe for 2 runs to finish the over and 8 runs from it. Another good one for the Victorians. Again, they're called over to the net where I believe Wayne Fontana is actually the manager of the side, seems to be doing the bulk of the talking. Not unusual for team setups for a manager to be more of an assistant coach and have some particular roles within the team, sending the message to the players that the coach wants sent to them. You made the comment earlier, a lot of heads going down for Western Australia. I've seen it so many times that they just look out of a game and just come from nowhere to win it.
Yeah, look, there's definitely not much energy here in the field. I'm sure if we see a wicket, we'll see a spike in energy.
Messier bowling, finds the edge and a single.
So 3 wickets for the tournament.
Oh, that's missed everything.
Quite an effort ball, that one. It seemed like he pushed that through a little bit more than the first one. Maybe a bit of a loosener with the first ball.
A safe single there with a down up into the vacant middle of the court. Midway through the 6th over, Western Australia yet to claim a wicket.
Yeah, too easy for the Victorians here. No real intensity in the field.
Wonder to what extent Western Australia are backing their ability to just plunder some runs. They're going to need to plunder a few if they keep bowling like this.
That's right.
The Victorian bats are just too classy.
Yeah, they're staring down 140 here.
Now, I mentioned before, as we finished the over with 7 runs from it, that these two were in trouble early in the major semi-final by virtue of just some silly decisions in terms of running at the ball. But they have looked anything but, but like getting out. They've
been very, very assertive.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
That
maybe
shot
they got
from
that out of
Jam,
their game in the semi-final.
or maybe they got read a riot act from their coach.
Yes.
But that shot from Jam off that over-pitch delivery could have gone anywhere. And he just put it high into the 3 net. Which shows that the Victorians are switched on. They know what they need to do. And they're doing it so far. Riley Cameron will bowl the 7th over. He came into the side for the prelim finally. Didn't play the major, so this will be the one difference between the two sides.
Was there
from the last
injury
time
that brought
they
him in? Or?
I've got no mail on that. 2 runs. Came in at the expense of Fitzgerald. And they've retained him for the final. Yeah, well kept out.
Ball.
It was a good ball.
Definitely
Jam
here
happy
with
to jam
these
the bat down.
with these wooden decks, you've got to bowl a nice full line. Anything short's too easy, it holds up.
2 full. Again, 3 runs.
Yeah, just over pitching there. Lamb able to jam, getting that on the full. Easy 3.
And another 2 runs. These 2 batsmen doing it all too easy. Western Australia don't have an answer at the moment.
Yeah, a bit of a batting clinic going on right now by the Victorians. Wow.
Jam is batting the house down. They give him any length that he puts it away. The score moves somewhat ominously to 72.
A bit shorter this time. Still no wicket.
Yeah, 14 runs off the over with a score on 74. 1 over remains in the second batting pair. Can't quite believe what I'm seeing, Anton.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe. I want to know what's being said in the huddle right now. Obviously, it's let's work for one, but I just can't see one coming. The wickets just don't come. Maybe it's Fontana here. We said that he's their strike bowler. 9 wickets for the tournament. 4 more than anyone else in his team. So
Well,
clearly
I think that's an illustration of how much of a batting side this team is.
Well, you look through the Victorian side and you've got 14, 16, 15, 14, 12, 15, 14. These are the players that are taking wickets.
Yeah, good call of no and a good start from Fontana. One of a few players in his side that are also members of the 21 and under team from Western Australia that won the national title a few weeks ago in Victoria.
Interesting here, going 3 on the offside.
Yeah, we've seen WA employ a similar field fairly often throughout this tournament. The only difference here is there's a chance there, but the flick nowhere near the stumps. The only difference is they occasionally, with 3 on the offside in the front court, put 2 on the onside in the back court at the sweeper position. So interesting they chose not to employ that strategy just now.
It's almost like a bit of gamesmanship, trying to play games with the batsman, where the ball might be going.
Western Australia playing games? No, surely not. 2 balls remain.
Maybe a man cat's what they need to get a wicket.
Driven straight, it's a chance and a misfield.
Wow.
Turns a run-out chance into a 5-run shot for Jam. He moves to 21 runs.
Story of WA's bowling effort right now. Just nothing going their way.
And 2 runs to finish the over. That's 42 runs at 21 runs apiece. What a partnership that was.
Yeah, phenomenal effort there by Van Hees and Jam. We talked about a score of 140. We're actually looking at 160 plus here if this continues.
Well, Western Australia in the prelim against the ACT did something similar. They got off to an absolute flyer, and the ACT sent the last pair negative. So they turned a 140 plus score into 110 or something chaseable. So all that WA need to do to stay in this game is get on top of one pair. If they can do that, I think that Western Australia have got 120, 130 in them pretty comfortably. So it's still game on. McPhee and Ferdinand are the next batters for the Victorians.
Ferdinand's had an outstanding tournament, 123 runs off his own bat, which places him as the highest scorer for Victoria. His batting partner, which is McPhee, only the 44 runs. So
Criddle White bowling his second over. Starts very well.
They'll be targeting McPhee here, I imagine. And this really, as you said, this needs to be the pair that they get stuck into.
Finds the net for 3. Was in fact the last pair for Western Australia that the ACT did, and whether it's this pair or the next, I think that they may even spread it, but either they need to keep one pair to just about nothing, or the next 2 to 15 or 20.
Oh, what a shot.
There's another misfield there from Golding on the 3 line. Should have cleaned that up. He's let it through. Sorry, that's Goldsworthy. 4 runs.
Switching him out. Clough going to the 3 line.
Pushed into the gap. Could have been 3, but a call of no.
Quite interesting here again with the WA fielding. They're hanging back on the 3 lines. Not pushing into that front court.
Yeah, just invites the drive, doesn't it? Quick single. Final ball for Criddle White in the tournament. Field to hand and a direct hit at WA. Have got their first wicket. That's the spark they need. It was a great piece of fielding. Ball not going to hand straight away, but it came out, direct hit slap, and they found McPhee short of his ground.
Yeah, just a wrong call there. Straight to the hands. And McPhee is run out the striker's end.
It's the first wicket. And it came in the 9th over. Golding will bowl now for Western Australia. It'll be Ferdinand on strike.
This is, again, Golding now bowling out. His second.
So far, just repeating the pattern of the first 8 overs. 2 fielders on the leg side. Here he is. 2 full, driven flat. A chance there for Goldsworthy, or Claw, I think it is back there now. But he missed the stumps. There's another one of those extras. They've given them far too many and made it so easy for the Victorians.
Not sure how many Golding bowled in his first over, but
4 of them.
Quite a few. 4. So he's up to 5.
Yeah, big shout, but a diving Ferdinand was safe there. It's Golding's first over, none for 11. He's gone for 6 so far off this one.
It's too short, too easy.
Yeah. Nesbitt will want to be careful there. He didn't really have any business being where he was, and he ran into the batsman. You can't do that unless you are actually fielding the ball. Straight to the fielder. That's why he's there.
Good call from Ferdinand, nice and early.
Just a single from the last ball. And 9 runs off the over, moves the score to 97. So not necessarily as prolific so far as the preceding 2 pairs, but certainly looking very comfortable.
Yeah, look, there's 2 overs to go. I think the the Victorian team would be happy to get 20-25 out of this pair. And building towards a really good total here.
So just one wicket falling. They're coming via a run out from the Criddle White second over. Again, I think the aim for the Western Australians needs to be to keep them to less than 120, maybe 130. And I note that, again, they're repeating the same pattern of bowlers. The first 3 overs of the game, Criddle White, Golding, Nesbitt. The first 3 of the second half of the innings, Criddle White, Golding, Nesbitt.
Yeah, right.
And a throw misses.
A bit of a yes-no call from McPhee there. Yes off the bat, and then a no once you saw it went straight to the hands.
Into the claws of claw, one might say.
Yeah, I'm not
there
sure
we
if
go.
it's pronounced claw or clo.
Claw, I checked.
Yeah.
2. So if the Western Australians are literally just going to repeat the bowling pattern, that shows an amazing lack of
creativity.
Yeah, like you got to bowl to what you see. You can't just blindly bowl the same
right.
8. I mean,
Yeah,
I used to do that when I
evolve with the
captained
game.
under
Yeah.
11s, but I don't know about 17 and under.
Beautiful straight back there from Ferdinand, meeting the ball right off the middle. And the 100 is up, 101.
In the middle of the 11th over, Anton.
Again,
It's,
McPhee pushing straight.
Scores of 100 plus, not unusual in indoor cricket, but certainly becoming rarer in 6-ball over indoor cricket, especially at this tournament. So
Especially
already
11th over.
Yeah, already past 3 figures. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Courtesy of that from Nesbitt. And that's what they need, WA. It was a good delivery. It just caught McPhee on the legs and gone through and bowled him.
Yeah, McPhee just struggling a little bit. We see him, he's only on 1 run. Ferdinand's hit 10 off his bat.
Yeah, one of those, you've got to remember McPhee was run out off a Ferdinand shot that went straight to field, so his partner ran him out, although it may well have been McPhee's call in the end. But that ball, he certainly didn't look very comfortable, so credit to the bowler.
It's a second wicket for the game.
And once again, the pattern repeats. Goldsworthy is going to bowl the 12th over. I'm blown away. I can't remember the last time I saw this in a serious game of indoor cricket.
It is very interesting. Who won the toss, by the way?
Victoria won the toss and elected to bat.
Yeah, right.
Chance. Direct hit, but he was home. Chance again. Diving catch from Josh Fontana. There it is for Western Australia. They're fighting back. They know that if they can sort this pair out and do the same to the next, they're right back in the match.
Yeah, look, McPhee just poor shot selection there. Not timing it, coming early on the ball, and just ballooned into the side net, and quite comfortable catch by Fontana. Oh, shot.
Ferdinand, stop it, will you please? He's batting the absolute house down.
It feels like he's got all the time in the world. Plays shots. It's just so clean.
You called it statistically the highest run scorer for Victoria.
Just goes to show, though, it's very much a partnership kind of game, indoor cricket. And although Ferdinand's hit the ball extremely well, it's still only 11 runs up on the board.
Oh, and a great catch from Claw on the 3 line. He's missed a couple of directed throws, but he makes no mistake this time. Sticks the big mitts out and gathers that catch off a pretty solid drive from McPhee.
Yeah, look, he hit the ball well, but it was in the air.
Just trying to hit his way out of trouble there, McPhee.
Definitely no need for it. Victoria well on top with the bat. And they've brought WA well and truly back into this game.
That's the final ball of the pair now. McPhee on strike. And
Oh,
again, hey, diving catch from Noah Criddle-White at the back. Unbelievable finish to this partnership. 3 for -10 off the over. And what a turnaround. Just one run for the skin.
That is a massive momentum shift in favour of WA. McPhee -14. So not the contribution to Victoria we're looking from him with the bat. One
and I
for
have
the
to
pair.
tell you, Ferdinand faced 9 deliveries in that partnership. So not only has McPhee lost a couple of wickets there at the end, he starved the form bat of the tournament, Ferdinand, of the strike. So costly little partnership there, and WA, they're right back in the game. It's Emil Tate and his partner, Ben Zoma, will now have the job of getting Victoria back on track.
They didn't want batting Ferdinand with McPhee, probably looking for Ferdinand to dominate the strike and dictate the play. Just not able to. Fontana to bowl his first over.
Second over. And I'm glad that Fontana's bowling now because it breaks the pattern.
Yeah,
the pattern is broken. Left-handed Zoma on strike, starts with a 1. It's a good shot, but well kept off the net.
Look at WA now in the field. There's so much more energy.
Yeah, 3-wicket over certainly injects a bit of energy into the field. A chance again, but it falls safe. The 2 runs.
It's nice to see Victoria's got a bit of size of their own. Tate in the bat.
Yeah, Emil Tate, a former ACT junior before he moved to Victoria.
Yeah, right.
I said during the major semi-final that I'm pretty sure he was about that big when he was 12 too. He's always one of those players that we had to keep providing identification for in the underage divisions. People were a little bit disbelieving of his age, given his size. 2 balls remain. Single there, safe, down and up, down the pitch.
Bit of a thought maker, kind of the Australian Sudanese basketball. Just got drafted 10 in the NBA draft.
Yeah, what a phenomenal achievement that is.
I did get some information that he is actually 21 thon maker, not the 19 that they thought.
Oh. An edge and taken. What a good delivery that is from Fontana, just cutting away and found the edge of Emil Tate. And Western Australia, after having 85 runs put on against them off the first 8 overs, are right on top here, Anton.
Yeah, great over by Fontana to start off this last pair, taking his 10th wicket for the tournament. Just a 1 run coming from that over.
I think it's going to be Claw to bowl this over, and I've just noticed an interesting little dynamic with the Western Australian management coach. It seems to me that Wayne Fontana's doing the talking to the team, whereas the coach, Mark Kullenitz, is doing the talking to the bowler. So giving some very specific instructions to the bowler about to take their mark and leaving Wayne Fontana to give the general message to the team. So very smart planning there from those two as Claw comes in full and wide and beats the bat.
Yeah, the process is working for them. Wasn't working in the first 8 overs, but it's working now.
Yeah, the Zoman not happy, but both of those balls from mine well inside the line.
Yeah, just a shape going across him. It's troubling him. Unsure of whether it was good or not. It's a 3rd ball now.
Certainly is. Big moment now. Wayne Fontana's asked for full and wide again. And it's full and straight. And gets through Zoma. I think he was expecting it to be wide. Just was in no position to play a shot to that.
Yeah, great change up there. Push 2 across and then 1 in. Smart bowling by Chloe.
follows the wicket up with a leg side. And I think Victoria in a lot of trouble here. Anything less than 100 and they are in deep, deep trouble. They need to get back in front of 3 figures. And this field there lets them get 3. That's called 2 by James Groves.
Zoma would be happy to get off strike here, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Very nearly another Castle Falls. Just hit the toes of Emil Tate. Probably fortunate that there's no LBW in indoor cricket when you play a shot.
Probably fortunate he's got a size 15 foot.
Yeah, indeed. So, if I recall correctly, midway through the 11th over, we were discussing the fact that Victoria were already on 101. And here we are at the beginning of the 15th, and they're 14 runs shy of 100. What an incredible fight back it's been.
Massive turnaround.
From the Western Australians.
Quite impressive. I thought Victoria were just batting them straight out of the game. And definitely the vibe from the WA side was not one of any confidence.
Yeah, I said at the time that they're a team that doesn't, to me, like to point at my own team, for example, the ACT 17s, they seem to be a team that needs to feed off intensity. For mine, Western Australia are not one of those teams. They can be as quiet as a mouse and do things like they're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, very much team, definitely in the field, just go through their motions.
Chance at the top end. Oh, Emil Tate would want to get a wriggle on. I don't think he had any idea the ball was coming to his end.
He didn't stretch out at all.
He's very fortunate that that ball didn't hit the stumps.
It is easy when you only have to take 4 steps to get up the other end, though.
We need a banana for scale. 3 balls remain. Chance at the top. It's good gather from Fontana, but I just think if he'd left that alone, there might have been a chance for the bowler or the receiver to affect the run out there. Can't fault him attacking the ball, though. That's certainly what he would be coached to do. 2 balls remain.
Grinding away.
Yeah, it's a great shot from Emil Tate.
Yeah, lovely hands there, just waiting for the ball. Letting the ball come to him. And playing through the line for a lovely down up 3.
Tucked behind square for 2 to finish the over, so they take 10 runs from it. It's a good one for Victoria. They're now within sight of the 100-run mark, and that's where they need to be. But Anton, for mine, they are still well below par against this Western Australian side.
Yeah, look, unless they can do something in this last over, Victoria, I don't see it coming, but we have seen the extras early on in the innings from Western Australia, and Victoria definitely needs some of those extras now. And it is many balls as possible to build to a total of well over 100.
Well, it'll be Messier to bowl at the final over. He hasn't let any extras go so far in the match, so WA will certainly be hoping that that form continues. Should point out, although I think Western Australia are a team capable of scoring 100 plus, they certainly haven't done that against Victoria for a little while. So
Yeah, right.
Victoria have the bowling attack that they may feel comfortable defending, even what they have on the board now. Here's Messier. Starts with the leg side. You called it there, Todd.
Yeah. I mean, he bowled quite early in the innings.
Yeah, the 6th over.
Just tightened up a little bit and then... Again into the legs. No troubles there for Zoma. Tate now getting his first look at Messier. Edging. Seen him caught already from an edge, Tate.
Just lucky that one died.
Yeah.
Safe single there. Victoria will be desperate to see off the last 3 balls of this innings without the loss of a wicket and make sure they stay above that 100 run mark. Yeah, great shot. Too much width. Zoma puts it away.
And well played there, Soma. 2 balls remaining in this Victorian innings. Ooh.
Well, lets it hit him with the ball moving back into him, so there's no way that was going on at the stumps. No shot offered, so LBW a possibility. And it's now the final ball. And it will be a dot, so they've seen it off without a wicket, but the damage done earlier. Western Australia, a complete reversal of momentum there. Victoria were cruising along at 101 midway through the 11th over, and some 5.5 overs later, they've added 2 runs.
Yeah, it's quite outstanding. Full credit to WA in the way that they pulled the game back into their favour, and now they're on top. I backed them to get these runs. We saw over there with Queensland in the under-15s game, 109 won them the game. And I think WA are just too strong with the bat. And they'll be able to get these runs.
Now, yesterday we saw 2 very different Noah Criddle-Whites. He's a key player for the Western Australians. He's their captain. In the major semi-final, he batted very poorly, very poorly. Made some very silly decisions, gifted his wicket away to the point where we're expecting something very similar in the prelim final. Then he came along in the prelim final and batted the house down. So it depends which Noah Criddle-White we're going to see here. Key player, as is Josh Fontana, his opening batting partner. If these two can bat anything like they did in the prelim, I think that 43 is going to get a nudge. The corresponding skin, and they're off to a flyer that they need to be off to.
Yeah, they've both had a great tournament with the bat. Fontana 134 and Criddle-White 129. So clearly seeing the ball well all week. And they've got a lot of experience. We just mentioned that they participated in the championship winning 22 side from the Opens Championships. So they know how to get the job done. But I think WA need 40 from them. They need that start to put them in that strong position.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be Ferdinand to bowl the first over.
I'm going to now pass over to Sydney Thunder player Claire Koski to take over the commentary for this innings.
So thank you for your insight, Anton. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. Who are you tipping before you go?
I'm going to back WA.
Rightio, there we go. Thanks, Anton.
Thank you.
Ferdinand gets underway. Straight to the fielder and a chance. Oh, very tight. Criddle-White just home, so a single from the first ball. The Victorian field obviously up and about. Persisting with 2 on leg side. And that's why just played into that area, but through the gap. So 2 to Criddle-White. Say again, we saw 2 very different Western Australian captains in yesterday's matches. WA will be hoping we see prelim Criddle-White rather than major Criddle-White. Oh, false shot there. I think it went down into his toe and drifted over to the offside for the left-hander, but a dot ball. Welcome back to commentary as there are 2 balls remaining. Claire Costi from the ACT Meteors and the Sydney Thunder. Welcome back, Claire.
Thank you. Looking forward to this match. It's going to be a tight one.
Yeah, we see a great shot there from Criddle-White to put 2 runs on the board. No doubt you've been watching the first innings. What a massive turnaround that proved to be.
Yeah, I was watching the first two pairs, and I was starting to worry that was going to be a bit of a blowout, but they worked really hard, and they definitely changed the game. So I was really shocked to see obviously the third pair only get one, and then the fourth pair 17. So it's pretty incredible comeback, and yeah, well, it'll be a good chase, I'm sure.
I was saying to Anton, we saw different versions of Criddle White yesterday. One that plays smart and one that doesn't. Western Australia clearly hoping for the smart Criddle White today. He is their captain, so needs to play a big game here with the bat.
Yeah, he sure does, and I think he's got that power game that he can really turn to if necessary. So hopefully he starts off a little bit slow, tries to hit those down ups, and then if necessary at the end he can really start going for the back net.
Fontana beaten off the first ball. See Big Emil Tate there in the front court with his arms up. It's a big imposing presence there for the short Fontana. And beaten again.
And as you can see, he doesn't hold that position whilst the ball's coming in. It's obviously just at the start to, as you said, be that imposing figure. And then he gets in a good athletic position to be able to defend whatever comes his way.
And Juricic bowling very well, troubled Fontana there. Had him on third ball, but got away with two. Now, two on the offside of the right-hander. Yeah, well left by Criddle White, drifting down the legs, leg side. Two balls remain.
Lovely shot
well
there.
Well played from Criddle White.
Really showing his strength there.
In the major semi-final, he tried to hit that ball for 7. In this game, he's put that away for 2. So I think we are seeing the more focused and disciplined Criddle White today.
Yeah, I wonder what his coaches said to him in between games. So
possibly garden variety spray, I would think. As Fontana takes 2 from the last ball and 8 runs from the over, they move now to 16. That's really all they need to do. They just keep building this nice and calmly and coolly. Leave the last pair with not too much to do, and WA are in the box seat.
Yeah, look, if you get 2 runs each ball every over, it ends up being 42. So, there's plenty of time, and that doesn't take into consideration anything that you might hit behind the line, and then also extras. So, they don't need to hurry at this stage. I think they've just got to set it up for the rest of the guys.
Yeah, flat shot, but outside of the reach of the Victorian fielder, the co-captain, Callan Gilboy.
I don't think the Vics will be too upset about that. He is playing across the line, so it's quite a dangerous shot.
Great shot from Criddle White. We were talking earlier in the first innings about how the Western Australians maybe sensed that they had an opportunity to attack certain pairs irrespective of what the first 2 scored. I wonder if Victoria feel the same thing as Fontana gets through for 2 about the Western Australian lineup. They obviously know that this pair is a strong pair and will get them off to a good start, but maybe backing themselves to really peg back one of the later pairs.
I think it would be clever of Western Australia to play there after they've had such a strong pair up front, to play one of their weaker pairs, second and third, obviously to make sure that it doesn't affect the game too much later on when they can't do anything about it. So I think Victoria really needs to be aware of who's coming in next and how they're going to attack it. Are they going to use their absolute best bowlers to really capitalise on the weaknesses of the other batters, or are they going to go with the players that are not the best but still quite tidy?
That's a great shot from Fontana. Good use of the feet. He gets himself into an interesting position to play on his onside, but it's effective.
It's it's a different technique, but as he said, it is very effective. He's hit a couple of leg side down ups this tournament that I've seen. So it's absolutely beautiful to watch those shots. If you understand what it takes to hit them, it's really a lovely sight to watch.
And it's all timing. You're hitting the ball later or earlier in the stroke, depending on how you want to describe it. Not a lot of difference between that and trying to hit a lofted shot. It's all a case of timing.
Yeah, correct. A lot of people feel that indoor cricket can, damage your outdoor batting technique, and I think that might be a little bit of an old school sort of, thought. I'm very much teaching my girls that it's the same shot as outdoors, just much later. They're very much just drives and pull shots. So the only probably real difference is the pull shot, because they like to get much more of a horizontal bat, and I think there's not too much that's different.
As we see Fontana beaten, and all too often we see junior cricketers coached to try and manufacture these down-ups through false hitting. So it's pleasing to hear that from an ACT perspective that you're teaching the girls to just play cricket shots, and it's just a case of timing.
Yeah. And as I see, as we've said earlier, indoor cricket really feeds into outdoor cricket. So you want to give them the really good foundations first of disciplining their technique and getting that right, and not using too much of your bottom hand, because it is very tempting to use the bottom hand to get those down ups, but it's literally just the same shot, just later.
And it's the last ball of the pair, and this pair have managed to get 30 plus so far. And it'll be a dot ball to finish. Criddle White sending Fontana back. They're happy with 31. It's above par, so why not?
Yeah, I think it's really important that they don't get too caught up in having to chase the 42 and the 43. Obviously the last two pairs let Victoria down. WA just really has to be calm about it and not get carried away with trying to hit these totals. As long as they get in the 25 to 30 range, they're putting their team in a really good position.
Do you think the instructions to the Victorian side are they know that that's what WA have to do, and that they run a risk of WA just cruising from here on in? What would the instructions from the coach be?
I think it would really be, again, just to crowd the bat. It's so important, especially this may very well be one of their weaker pairs. So it's really important to mentally get in their zone, and to try and, I guess, put the batter off their game. And interfere with the eye contact that they have with their partner. And I think that's really the key thing about it, is that you're separating them from their partner. And as a batter, it's a little bit lonely because you're against 8 people, so you always want to have your pair there. So I think that's probably a key thing.
Zoma's the bowler. It is claw on strike. It's into hands, but not a run out, so just a single.
And simple efforts like that, keeping the ball off the net, and then the second effort to try and get the run out is really important here. A lot of people, tend to think that after the ball's gone past them, they don't have to go after it anymore. But there's just so much more in this game that the second efforts are really key.
Victoria haven't claimed a wicket yet. It's the 5th over.
Nice change of pace there.
Victoria, during their innings, hadn't lost a wicket in the first 8 and lost 7 in the next 8. So, what a shot that is from claw. Just on the right length for someone of his height and reach, and it got dispatched.
An incredibly safe shot as well.
Right into the gap, along the carpet, 5 runs.
If the Victorians are watching closely, they'll see that this pair so far haven't shown a massive inclination to just hit down ups. I think they need to probably pull it back and try and hit him on the hip. But there you go. I think that was just a bit too wide, not right on the hip, and gives them plenty of room.
Yeah, so a great start there from Western Australia. They take 13 runs from that over. Impressive.
Such a great start.
Well, in particular, given the start that they got from their opening pair, they know that they can put 20 runs on the board here and they're still on track. They don't have to do anything silly, and they've got 13 of them already.
I think probably the Victorians are holding on to the fact that it happened to them, so it's very much a possibility to happen to the WA boys. So
I think for mine, the reversal that we saw during the Victorian innings you see that a lot more often during the first innings of a match. It's rarer to see it during the second because the scoreboard pressure starts to kick in. The fielders get more and more nervous, a little more edgy as the batting side gets closer and closer. So it'll take a special effort for Victoria if there's another big pair here to reverse the momentum.
And personally, I prefer to bat second. I feel like I have much more control over that. And then I can dictate the way I want to bat, whether I want to try and hit the back net or really just be safe and play down up. So I think the Victorians might be struggling a little bit with that.
Oh, over pitched and it's gone the journey. 7 runs. WA continuing to play their shots. Claw with no hesitation putting that to the back. And a down up single, a chance there, but he's home. How massive are 7s in 6-ball over games?
It's so much different, you know, when it comes to 6-ball overs as opposed to 8-ball overs, which it has been in the past. Like, it's the same as wickets. Sevens and wickets are just so much harder to claw back. I mean, if you take the wicket, they've still got 2 runs on you. So, yeah, I think that was an excellent call from Golding. You know, there wasn't really a run there, so fantastic call.
Golding sending Claw back.
The dangerous thing about if you do lose a wicket in 6-ball overs is trying to make it up as soon as possible. I think the best thing is just to keep working back and hitting those 2s, and you know the ball will come eventually where you get to smack it to the back.
Yeah, double hit there, created a chance in the end, but Golding was home. A single moves them to 57 after 6 overs. So right on track are the Western Australians.
They're making it look easy at the moment.
So it looks to me like Victoria, unless they turn around in the next 2 overs, they've basically got to throw the kitchen sink at the 3rd pair. They can't let the last pair coming in needing just a handful of runs because they'll be playing catch-up cricket.
Yeah, I think they need to analyse whether they want to not so much let this pair go as kind of conserve their better bowlers for the next pair and yeah, kind of contain these guys to a reasonable score. But it's really looking like Golding is taking the back seat and just turning over the strike.
Here's Jam. Batted the house down and starts well for his first over. Over pitching a little, 1 run.
A couple of chances they've missed so far in the field, and I think a lot of mistakes this week have been that the boys and even the girls have just tried to throw the stumps down instead of, you know, getting it straight to their back sticks or their keeper, which it's definitely lost a lot of dismissals this week, and I think today so far as well.
Another chance goes down to the Victorians. A missed run out on this occasion. So a single from it, and 2 balls remain now in the 7th over. Yeah, well, that's a great call of no. That's such respect shown from Claw there to Ferdinand. That was a great shot. Might not be where he intended it to go, but he just said no, and Golding hadn't moved.
Ferdinand has all week been impressive in the field. And there we see a massive mix-up between the WA boys. A matter of ball watching and no eye contact with your partner, so that's the oncoming of him.
Yeah, that's a gift wicket there, and it's the first wicket for the Victorian innings.
Will that be the turning point?
It's going to be the Victorian co-captain, Callan Gilboy, now to bowl the 8th over. So maybe they smell a little bit of blood, think that they can get another wicket or 2 here. And The seesaw will keep seesawing.
Well, the VICs have been so dominant in this tournament so far, and you know, it's fantastic to see.
It's a quicker ball, but it's a leg side, so an extra delivery in addition to the 2 runs. It's a single.
The boys will be really happy with this pair at this stage. Not the Vic boys, the WA boys. Really, they just need to get 30 a pair and set their last pair up to really kind of cruise through and not have too much pressure on them.
And look, that's a sign just there of the position that Western Australia are in. He didn't need to score off that shot. He saw that it was off pace and full and wide, trying to tempt him into a big shot, and he just left it. That's box seat cricket, that is. That one he uses his feet, gets to the pitch of the ball and sends it into the back court for 3.
It's clever cricket. You know, it's great awareness of the match and of your own game.
Loose shot and a desperate piece of fielding there from, who is that at the back? It's Zoma. He saved a run there. It's restricted it to 3. The 2 balls remain now in the batting pair. They've hit back after the loss of that wicket. Yeah, dominant 2.
Victoria really needs someone to stand up now and do something special to inspire the team, I think.
Driven. And 5 runs to finish the batting pair. If you don't mind, Ethan Claw, 32 runs off his own stick. Thanks for coming.
That's a brilliant shot to finish the pair.
I've given him an extra 2. It's actually 30 runs off his own stick, but what an incredible innings from him, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take this opportunity during the partnership break to remind you that immediately following this match, we have 2 presentations for you. Not just the presentation for this match, but also the tournament presentation. We'll be naming the all-star teams from all 5 of the junior divisions, and of course, the players of the series. So do stay with us. That should all wrap up by about 3:30 Eastern, at which point everybody will hit the road and go home after what's been a sensational week here at Sports World Dubbo. And while I'm at it, I should thank Greg King and his team here. The venue's been fantastic after a recent refurb, and everyone's had a wonderful time here in Dubbo, seeing the sites, visiting the jail and the zoo, and we enjoyed our stay at the Big 4 down here in Dubbo, so get around them when you're down here. But congratulations to Greg King and his team for hosting a marvellous tournament. But this game in the balance now, 31 runs in it. Jam, the bowler, and Nesbitt and Masir are the batsmen.
That's a big mistake to make up front. You know, it was quite a good ball, but just ruined it with the front foot, unfortunately.
Great shot from Nesbitt.
The pressure's really on Victoria at the moment. They need to make something happen now so they don't have to do it all at the end. I think that's going to be a big
this
ask.
pair. It absolutely has to be this pair. They need to ensure that the last pair comes out needing at least 10, 15 runs, or too much damage will have been done, you would think. Oh, tipped. 3 runs.
I feel like the 3 lines aren't really in the game at the moment. I know Ferdinand did that brilliant piece of fielding earlier, but at the moment they seem quiet and not really athletic at the moment. Very well bowled, and well kept
really
out.
well bowled, yeah. Shown a lot of respect there from Nesbitt. He saw he was in trouble there, blocked it well. Two runs to finish the over, and a great start for Western Australia as they continue on their way. They're not far away from victory now. It's going to take a big effort here from Victoria.
Victoria definitely have to improve their body language at the moment. They all look quite down. I think, yeah, they've got to forget what's happened so far and change what's going to happen in the future. So at the moment, WA are cruising.
Yeah, it'll be McPhee to bowl his second over. He went for 13 off his first, so fairly expensive, including a 7. So he's going to need to bowl a really good over here. And I'm actually disappointed to see that Victoria aren't throwing everything they've got so far at this pair. And fairly easy 3 there. Good use of the feet and just push through the gap.
I wonder if they've seen in past matches that these boys have had issues with spin, because so far that's 2 spin options. So after that shot, though, I'm not quite sure.
And again, just strong use of the feet.
I'm quite impressed to see that there are a lot more spinners coming through the game. I know there's quite a lot out there who think that spinners are quite vulnerable in this game, but...
And Victoria very unlucky there. That should have been caught, but the ball happened to hit the gate here at the back, so instead of coming off the net true, it just dropped out of the reach of Gilboy. And another 4 runs to the WA total. They're now just 14 runs away from victory.
And Gilboy is in a perfect position to take that then. It's really unfortunate. As you can see, no second effort there from the boys up front. I think they're feeling the pressure now.
Yeah, both teams in cruise control. Unfortunately for one, that means a cruise to a title. The other, it means cruise to a loss. 2 balls remain. Short and played into the leg side net for 2.
As you can hear, the WA team is very vocal at the moment, and I think they know that they're definitely on top.
Yeah, they're sensing victory. Oh, miss hit, but it's 3. 3 to finish the over, and another expensive one from McPhee.
I can't really see Victoria getting back in this. Unfortunately, their body language is pretty atrocious, and I think they really need some more energy in that front court, whether that be the 3 lines start pushing up and rushing, even if it's not going to work, as long as there's a bit of an injection of energy into it. They really need something right now. It's looking a little bit sad for them.
Yeah, and look, I really feel for McPhee. He's gone for 29 runs off his 2 overs and minus 14 off his own bat, so hasn't had a good game. But if they're to do what you're suggesting they need to do, they really need guys like him to absolutely stand tall and lift the rest of his teammates. Not worry about individual statistics at the moment, but just try and lift as a team and bring themselves back from the edge of defeat. And there we go, a good delivery from Van Hees.
Fantastic hands by McPhee. And especially as a keeper, he has a really integral role in driving the conversation in the front court and the energy. So he really needs to step up now.
Well weighted from Nasir there.
It's wonderful to see the athleticism of the guys. I think the ladies are still learning and still growing, but it's fantastic to come back to the blokes and see them all jumping around.
And a leg side puts the Western Australians at 101 at exactly the same point that, or a ball earlier, that Victoria got there in their innings, 11.3. The difference being Western Australia continue to go forward and now level with Victoria's 103.
I wonder if after the first 2 pairs for Victoria, maybe a bit of complacency came into it, that they were, in fact, taking it quite easy and, you know, forgot to keep in consideration that they're starting from 0.
Correct. So a single off the second last ball. 1 ball remains for Van Hees in the tournament. And it's a dot. So the Western Australians will begin the 12th over 1 run in front of Victoria, and Victoria need, for mine, at least 2 wickets off this over if they're going to remain a chance in the 17 and under grand final.
Without doubt, and that last shot really showed how much control WA have to be able to be that confident in a block shot and not worry about whether it's going to affect the rest of it is, yeah, it's a lovely sight to see actually. You don't often think of indoor cricket and block shots, do you?
No, but and certainly not from you, Claire. Gilboy is going to bowl the 12th over, so one of the Victorian captains deciding that he has to be the man to do the job. Went for 16 off his first, so he'll have to bowl a really good over here. Chance. The flick. The receiver nowhere near the stumps.
Fantastic work from the 3 line. The back 6 just really needed to trust his player and know that, you know, he just needed to get to the stumps.
Mentally checked out of the game by the looks. Oh, confusion. No run. No run out, I should say. 1 run.
I think we'll have to see a lot of change of pace in this over. He has to really mix it up because they're just on top at the moment. He's got to do something to, I guess, break their concentration.
It's just all happening for WA at the moment. Chance and a misfield. It's all going wrong for Victoria.
It's a little disappointing to see. It looks like they've given up. And we saw in the last game of the girls, the Cyclones hadn't given up in the 4th pair and almost brought it back. So, you know, you can get -5 runs, so it's easy to check.
The right end, but a misfield. Absolutely incredible. I called wrong end. I thought Gilboy should have taken the stumps here, but he made the correct decision. He's thrown it straight to the keeper who's fumbled it and blown a certain wicket.
Great to see the Victorian boys get around their keeper, though. That could have well been a very frustrated look on their faces, but they got around him and really supported him. Hopefully he can come back from that.
Well kept off the net to finish. But 7 runs off what was a good over from Gilboy and a certain wicket blown, and Western Australia will begin the last pair 8 runs in front. So it's going to have to be an absolute miracle here for the Victorian side if they are to reverse this and come up with a win.
I'm betting the Victorians are pretty excited that you can't declare in indoor cricket. So.
Well, Victoria haven't won a title in this age group since its inception way back in 1993. Western Australia have won it twice. They won it back in 1994 and then as recently as 2014. So something special in this game for these guys.
Yeah. So Ferdinand coming on now. He really needs to start strong, start something special.
Yeah, I think Ferdinand and possibly Juricic should have bowled in the last pair, but they both didn't. And it's Riley Cameron and Jesse Goldsworthy who have the job of bringing Western Australia home.
And the decision's been made to take McPhee out of the keeping position and put Zoma behind the stumps. So interesting change. I don't think they realise they have 5 in the front court at the moment, which is not a good situation for them.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Juricic has spotted it. That would have been very interesting. Short and wide and put away for 1.
This pair really needs to just be sensible, be okay with the dot balls and really just look to hit the side net. And they've started off perfectly. Perfect control there. Cameron is very focused. He's very into having that really good communication with his partner, and I can see why that's working.
You called it earlier, Claire, that they can be comfortable with a dot, and that shows you that they are.
even the WA boys are cheering a dot, so it's not really a concern of them at the moment. I mentioned it in the Cyclones Victoria game, and I'm going to mention it again. The tempo of the game, it's just so important. The Victorian boys have not changed it at all, and it's just going through the motions. So I don't see how they're going to be able to change anything right now.
No, the Western Australians firmly in control and just a run shy of being 3 wickets in front. So you would expect that they have, even if Western Australia took 3 wickets in the remainder of the innings, WA have got more runs in them. So something like 5 wickets needed, perhaps by Victoria, and so far they have 1.
It's really eye-opening to see. In that huddle just then, the boys' call of VIC's was quite muted. It wasn't energetic at all, and I think that's really indicative of the situation and their attitude. So it's not great to see. You always want the boys to be happy whilst they're playing the game, but WA has just been on top.
And beaten. That'll be 3rd ball. Vinesh Bennett joined us on commentary earlier, as you know, and he was actually surprised that the New South Wales Cyclones were smiling despite losing. I just pointed out to him, but that's because girls have fun when they play.
And I've spent a bit of time with them through the week and also before we came away. They're wonderful girls. They all just want to improve, and I think that's a really good attitude to have. Sometimes you just got to remember it is a game, it is a sport, and you know the sun does come up tomorrow. So be competitive, but also be realistic about life.
Saw the same as Tate continues and bowls are wide. Saw the same thing in the 14 and under girls grand final. It was clearly well and truly over, and Meg Woodbury at the back here for the ACT dancing each over as the music was on. She was having a good time despite the loss.
Yeah, she's an excellent kid. She always likes having a bit of a good time, and it's really good to have someone like that in your team, actually, because some of the other girls were struggling a little bit and felt quite responsible for, I guess, the situation that they were in, and she kind of kept them light and kept the mood going.
And 10 runs off the over, and Western Australia have more or less started engraving their name on the shield for 2016. It'll be their 3rd time as champions in this division, unless, I don't know, another 8 Victorians come out and take the court. I'm not sure that it's even possible for them to win from here.
I feel like it would definitely take a miracle. I don't feel like it's, especially with the way they're acting at the moment, I don't feel like it's possible. Their heads are down, hands on hips. It's not looking good at all for them.
And it's it's concession of defeat for sure. But I mean, let's have a look at WA's path to the grand final. They lost the round game to Victoria. They lost the major semi-final to Victoria and played poorly. They turned around and smashed the ACT, and right now they're smashing Victoria. They save their big games for the big game moments.
And I think you need to have the knowledge and have the big game players. I mean, the captain obviously didn't have a great game the other day, and he was trying to hit the back net every single ball, but today he played a much smarter game.
Absolutely.
If I was a Victorian coach, I don't know what I'd be saying to the boys right now. It almost feels a little hopeless, but hopefully the boys keep going. I mean, it's been a long week, and they should be very proud of how they've gone so far. And regardless of result, they want to finish this off cleanly and get those dismissals.
Yeah, good point. They do need to finish well. Zoma just puts one behind the legs. Fair delivery.
And again, just shows they're comfortable. They're okay with the 3rd ball situation. They're not going to stress.
And 2 runs.
Again, the coach is calling in their players.
And Western Australia now just 6 balls away from claiming the 17 and under national title. They'll add that to the 21 and under national title they claimed earlier this year. And as I've pointed out a few times on commentary, there's a few players that have played in both teams, so they're about to become dual national champions.
That'd be pretty impressive on the resume.
And I wonder what this means for the open men's level. WA have had a strong team in the past. They haven't really been there for a few years. If these guys continue and stick around and they're winning titles, WA looks like they'll be a force once again at the open men's level. Daniel Juricic will bowl the final over. Starts with a dot ball.
Looks like a few of the WA boys already congratulating each other.
Yeah, rightly so. It'll be third ball now. It's all academic from here. Oh, a chance, and it gets through the field for 3. I think that's an example of the way this innings has unfolded for the Victorians.
I think the Victorians will be really disappointed, especially after the start they've had with the first 2 pair. And obviously the WA boys have had orders from the coach to take the third ball and not be too worried about it.
And here we go, the final ball of the grand final.
I think we're about to hear a lot of noise, so get ready. And what a way to finish with a 7.
With a 7. What a way to finish the national final. Western Australia are your 2016 17 and under national champions. And who would have thought, 11 overs into the game, Victoria were on 101. They finished on 103, and WA have put on 140 runs. What a remarkable match.
That was incredible to watch. And to see the comeback of the WA boys, as you said, on that after that 12th over, it's wonderful to watch. And it's great to see the development of the game, as you said. Most of these boys playing the 21s as well, and to see them go into the opens at one point, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, that's capped off what's been an amazing day here at Sports World Dubbo. That's the last of our grand finals. As I mentioned earlier, we do have the presentation for this game. We'll find out the player of the grand final in a few minutes' time. And following that, we'll take another short break and then come back with the presentation for the entire tournament. We'll name 5 Australian All-Star teams and announce the player of the series for each of the divisions. But for now, thanks once again to you, Claire Koski, for your company.
Thank you.
And do stay with us. We'll be back very soon. from every other division on the back court, and we'll start the presentation for this game and then the tournament presentation following that. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sports World Dubbo, where we've just seen an amazing 17 and under boys grand final between Western Australia and Victoria. Western Australia have run out big winners in the end, so congratulations to them on what is their third title in the 17 and under boys division. I know that Victoria will be disappointed, but what a fantastic tournament they have had as well. Our first award is for the player of the grand final. That is decided by our umpire, who is James Groves. I'm pleased to announce that that player is from Western Australia, Ethan Claw. Ethan receiving his award from Mr. Ian McAllister from the Western Plains Regional Council. Big supporters of this event, we do thank them for that. What I'll do now is I'll call up the coach of the runners-up, Victoria, Mr. Chris Reid. Come on over, Chris. No doubt disappointed, mate, but you still must be proud of the boys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, the last couple of grand finals, we've played against this side, pretty close to it. We've got them the last couple of times, and unfortunately for us, they got us on this day. And I know how it feels, guys, to have won a national title. So congratulations. The way you batted was sensational today. So congratulations, boys.
Must have been feeling pretty comfortable after the first two pairs, and it took a lot for WA to reverse the course of the match. And no answer from your guys?
Yeah, well, look, pressure situation. It's the beauty of indoor cricket. You're always under pressure, and it doesn't stop. And look, I feel a bit sorry for our boys. We've done all the hard work leading up to it, and couldn't be prouder of the boys to have achieved what they have. So, yeah. Yeah,
well said. Now what I'll invite you to do, Chris, is to call up your players one at a time to receive their runners-up medals.
Can I just say one thing first? To Sports World at Dubbo, a fantastic job on putting on the carnival. To the local council, everywhere we went, people were sitting there going, "Oh, you're part of the indoor cricket," and you could really feel that the town of Dubbo got behind it, and I thought that was fantastic. So congratulations to the town of Dubbo. All right, first up, Dave Maddox. James, Jimmy, come on, mate. Jimmy. Ben, Dan, Jay, Tien, Hugo, Emil, our two captains, Dan and Cal, and team manager, Tavis. Thanks, guys.
And the coach, Chris Reid. Congratulations to Victoria, a wonderful tournament. I'll call on the coach of the successful Western Australian side, Mark Kay. Mark, try to put myself in your shoes. The Victorians on 101 midway through the 11th over, and they finished their innings on 103. What an amazing turnaround from your boys.
Yeah, no, the boys played really, really well. Obviously, after 8 overs, to come back in the position that they were, to get it together, they did really well.
And not only that, but they then come out and put 140 runs on the board against an amazing bowling attack in the Victorian side. You couldn't have asked for anything more.
No, exactly right. The boys have done for Victoria every game we've played them so far this week. Boys dug down, put their heads together, didn't go for any big shots, did what we wanted.
That's the way, and now you've got a national title, so why don't you call out your players one at a time to come and collect their championship medal.
Captain, Dale Critter-White. Josh Fontana. Ross Nisbet. Jacob Giddos. Harvey Golding. Ethan Claus. Lachlan O'Callaghan. Jesse Masseur. Tim Fitzgerald. Jesse Goldsworthy. Wayne Fontana. Sorry, mate. I should have stood in line. Forgot your name now. Riley Cameron. And Dyer.
And the coach, Mark Kulinitz. And I'll now ask the Western Australian captain, Noah Criddle-White, to join his coach as we present them with the 2016 Championship Shield. Ladies and gentlemen, the champions for the 17 division for 2016, Western Australia. And that's it for our final presentation. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few moments with the All-Star presentation and the Player of the Series awards. We'll be back shortly.
And he smashes this one in the air, straight off the side net to Pearce.
Got to catch him.
Yeah.
And there it is, Morse on the back court. Look at Queensland. They're enjoying this. At the stumps. That's what they've got to do, bowl at the stumps. And another
Up And
Oh.
taken.
What a catch.
There it is. Just reward, straight through for Cameron side and Western Australia take their first wicket.
Around the wicket again.
Great piece of fielding, and that'll be a very important wicket for the Western Australians. That's gone to hand and a great flick back.
Wow.
Chance again. And that'll be out.
That is out.
Another great piece of fielding. Cameron Todd's not happy with the decision,
He's not
but
happy,
I'm sorry,
but he was
son.
definitely short.
Well short of the ground. Chance at the top, it should be out. There was a good early call of no from Zimmerman. It was the right call, but Crosby not responding.
He committed way too early. It was 4 steps down. Oh,
Chance
catch.
and taken. Cosson did not need to do that.
That's the pressure. He knows it.
Yes. Oh, that is a good ball.
No, smashing one down and up for 3.
So Brent Kernan. Full and driven straight down the wickets. Van Leeuwen picks it up, takes off the stumps, and this one flat, beautifully swept by Russo. Like he's set to get through the ball, it's the stumps, and he's been run out.
2 and a bit overs left.
Oh, well,
And there's a wicket, so look out. Are the Western Australians about to do something?
And he smashes this one in the air, straight off the side net to Pearce.
Got to catch him.
Yeah.
And there it is, Morse on the back court. Look at Queensland. They're enjoying this. At the stumps. That's what they've got to do, bowl at the stumps. And another.
Up and
Oh,
taken.
what a catch.
There it is. Just reward, straight through for Cameron side and Western Australia take their first wicket.
Around the wicket again.
Great piece of fielding, and that'll be a very important wicket for the Western Australians. That's gone to hand and a great flick back.
Wow.
Chance again. And that'll be out.
That is out.
Another great piece of fielding. Cameron Todd's not happy with the decision,
He's not
but
happy,
I'm sorry,
but he was
son.
definitely short.
Well short of the ground. Chance at the top, it should be out. There was a good early call of no from Zimmerman. It was the right call, but Crosby not responding.
He committed way too early. It was 4 steps down. Oh,
Chance
catch.
and taken. Cosson did not need to do that.
That's the pressure. He knows it.
Yes. Oh, that is a good ball.
No, smashing one down and up for 3.
So Brent Kernan. Full and driven straight down the wickets. Van Leeuwen picks it up, takes off the stumps, and this one flat, beautifully swept by Russo. He's set to get through the ball, it's the stumps, and he's been run out.
2 and a bit overs left.
Oh, well,
And there's a wicket, so look out. Are the Western Australians about to do something? Ladies and gentlemen, a very welcome back to Dubbo Sports World for the presentation of the 2016 Australian Junior Indoor Cricket Championships. I'm Cameron Walter. It's my pleasure to take you through the ceremonies today, where we'll announce the player of the series for each of our divisions and, of course, the all-important all-star teams. I'd like to first acknowledge the traditional landowners for the land on which we meet today, the Tabaga people. I'd also like to acknowledge some special guests. Cricket Australia's indoor cricket manager, Mr. Paul Milo, the Director of Parks and Land Care for the Western Plains Regional Council, Mr. Ian McAllister, Destination New South Wales and Deputy Premier, Mr. Troy Grant MP, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, the championship sponsors, Burleigh Seacombe and Southern Cross Cricket, and to the various special guests, state coaches, managers, trainers, umpires, parents, and most importantly, to all of our players. It's been a sensational week of indoor cricket here at Dubbo Sports World. I'm sure that you've all enjoyed your carnival. Congratulations to everyone that's been involved. Over 50,000 people have tuned into the live stream over the course of the final. So that's an amazing figure, and that amount of people have seen you all take part in this tournament. That proves that it's an exciting time to be involved in indoor cricket, and no doubt over those 50,000 people have seen some future superstars of cricket in all of its form throughout this week. So my congratulations to all of our participants. What we'd like to do first is acknowledge the support of the Western Plains Regional Council, and we have a plaque that we'd like to present to Mr. Ian McAllister first of all. So please join in thanking Mr. Ian McAllister for his support and that of the Western Plains Regional Council. And at the same time, Ian, I'd like to invite you to make some remarks.
Great. Thank you, Cameron. Look, indoor cricket is just one of those sports. I certainly played it when I was a lad. Absolutely loved it. From the Western Plains Regional Council's point of view, we're really fortunate that we've got a facility in Dubbo that can cater for this sort of event. Over the course of the week, approximately, you guys have brought about $1 million into the city. And certainly from our economy point of view, that's very welcomed. In addition, I think one of the greatest things about holding these sort of events in a regional venue is that from the point of view of the locals, the local kids who really like to play the sport, it gives them a great opportunity to actually see some very, very high calibre players. And as Cameron said, some of these players I'm sure will go on into the future. And the team that we have at Western Plains Regional Council to help organisers bring these events to town are an amazing group of people, and I'd just like to acknowledge them as well. So thank you very much, and have a safe trip home.
Thank you, Ian. The support of the local council here has been invaluable and allowed us to put this event on to such a high standard, so we thank them once again. Another high standard venue that's helped us out here is Dubbo Sports World. The refurbishment is fantastic, and the venue's been great throughout the week. I know that the tight nets might have proved a little bit of a challenge for some people used to the looser nets at some centres, but this is a phenomenal venue here in Dubbo, supported well by its owner-operator, Greg King, who is a giant in indoor cricket and does a lot, not just for indoor cricket here in New South Wales country, but nationally as well. So we'd like to present him with a plaque as well. So put your hands together for Greg King, if he could come up and collect the plaque. No doubt he's somewhere working hard. Here he comes. Just a few words from Greg.
Just very quickly. That's ridiculous. I've had this bloke's name in my head all day if I got an opportunity to say thank you, I was going to say thank you, and now it's what happened when you turn 60. I got a mental block. The gentleman from Queensland that has, for the last 3 years, has pushed and poked and prodded and always recommended that we should put in for this event. And he kept going at me and saying, you should have this out of Dubbo, you should have it out of Dubbo. When it was announced last year that it was coming out to Dubbo, half the people said, Dubbo? And half the people said, where's Dubbo? Which was really exciting, and then we've seen it grow and prosper as we've gone along. And I think there's not an indoor cricket person now with the live streaming and also just the Facebook pages that wouldn't know where Dubbo is. And it's only came about largely because the people up the back there are businessmen in the town. They've chucked in and helped. They've chucked in with their workload. They've chucked in with their spirit. And they've made Dubbo a great place to visit. To them, say thank you. To you people, thanks a lot. One other little thing. There's a gentleman from WA called Mark. Mark, what's your last name, mate? It starts with K. Mark K will do. He rang me when we first sort of got these games. He rang me up and said, we're going to look at something to do with accommodation. Can you tell me if you have a subway in Dubbo? Give me a break. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Greg, and congratulations on the week. Someone else and his team that we now need to acknowledge is our tournament director, David Shepley, and his team of umpires who have done an outstanding job throughout the week. I know that we don't always agree with their decisions, but I'm sure that we all respect how tough a job it is that they do and how well it is that they do it. So I'd like to call up the tournament director and inaugural Hall of Famer for indoor cricket, David Shepley, to come and call up his team of umpires. Okay, I'll call up his team for him. Let's hear, David, you need to present some medals, so come on back. You'll help with the medal presentation. So first of all, James Groves. Ralston Ambrose. Matthew Knudsen, who's not here. Jonathan Mosman. Jeff Armstrong. Stephen Barney Young. And last but not least, Grant Donkey Doran. Thank you once again to our fantastic team of umpires, and what a great job they did. And now it's time for the player of the series. We're going to start with the 13 and under boys. First of all, put your hands together to Victoria, our 13 and under champions. The umpires have been voting throughout the week, and the top 3 votes for player of the series are as follows. In third position, from Victoria on 8 points, Taj Johnson. In second place on 9 points, from the New South Wales Country Cyclones, Zach Clark. And the player of the series on 10 points, from the New South Wales Cyclones, Tom Cody. Congratulations, Tom. Well done. I'm now going to call out the 2016 13 and under Australian All-Star team. When you hear your name, please follow Tom's suit and come on up to the stage. All of our All-Star players today will receive not just an All-Star shirt, but also a Southern Cross cricket bat, thanks to our partners at Southern Cross Cricket. So a nice little bonus for Australian selection. The 2016 13 and under boys Australian All-Star team. From Western Australia, Bryce DeVries. From Western Australia, Jake Egan. From Victoria, Jordan Hessline. From the New South Wales Blues, Lyndon Coward. From the New South Wales Blues, Matthew Brown. From the New South Wales Cyclones, Mitch Corn. From Victoria, Riley Mark. From Victoria, Taj Johnston. From the New South Wales Cyclones, Tom Cody. And from the New South Wales Cyclones, Zach Clark. The coach of the side from Victoria, Shane Suckling. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2016 13 and under Australian All-Stars. Congratulations to all of those players. We'll move now to the 14 and under girls division. Congratulations once again to Victoria, the champions in that division. The player of the series in equal second position on 7 points from Victoria, Jade Anthony, and from New South Wales Cyclones, Alison McGrath. And the winner, 4 points clear on 11 points, and your 14 and under girls player of the series from Victoria, Emma Sands. Emma, a very popular winner. Congratulations. That brings us to our 14 and under girls Australian All-Star team. The first time we've had this division, so it is the first time we've had this team. Once again, if you hear your name, please come on up. Your 2016 14 and under girls Australian All-Stars. From the Australian Capital Territory, Caitlin Galliano. From the New South Wales Cyclones, Lara Graham. From Victoria, Emma Sands. From the Australian Capital Territory, Meg Woodbury. From the New South Wales Cyclones, Annika Leroyd. From the New South Wales Cyclones, Alison McGrath. From Victoria, Annalie Homburg. From Victoria, Shahazni Wanagatunga. From Queensland, Chelsea Gann. And from Victoria, Hope Karita. And the coach from Victoria, Janet Finn. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2016 14 and under Australian All-Stars. Congratulations, girls. We now move to the 15 and under division, and put your hands together for the champions. A cracking game it was, Queensland. The player of the series in third position on 8 points from the New South Wales Cyclones, Brock Lawrence. In second place on 11 points from Victoria, Aram Hashmi. And the player of the series, 1 vote clear on 12 points from Western Australia, Lane Berry. Congratulations, Lane. The 2016 15 and under boys Australian All-Star team from the New South Wales Cyclones, Tom Atley. From Western Australia, Brodie Foster. From Victoria, Ethan Walker. From the New South Wales Cyclones, Brock Lawrence. From the New South Wales Cyclones, Jackson Corn. From Queensland, Noah Gilbert. From South Australia, Aram Hashmi. From Western Australia, Lane Berry. From Queensland, Joshua Laird. And from South Australia, Dion Lucas. The coach from Queensland, Ron Olsen. Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 15 and under Australian All-Stars. We move now to the 17 and under girls division. Let's hear it once again for our champions, Victoria. The player of the series in third position on 9 points from Victoria, the wicketkeeper, Maddie Wright. In second position on 11 votes from Victoria, Izzy Webber. And the player of the series on 13 points from the New South Wales Blues, Hannah Darlington. Now, Hannah just indicating just how strong a connection is between the most skilled in indoor and outdoor. Hannah's currently at the Emerging Blues Academy camp with Cricket New South Wales, so can't be here today. We'll make sure she gets her prizes, but congratulations to Hannah on a fantastic tournament. The 2016 17 and under girls Australian All-Stars from the New South Wales Blues, Sophie Heath. From Victoria, Zoe Griffiths. From Victoria, Chloe Rafferty. From the New South Wales Blues, Hannah Darlington. From the New South Wales Cyclones, Emma Hughes. From Queensland, Emily Charman. From from Victoria, Katia Jamini. From Victoria, Maddie Wright. From Queensland, Emily Valance. And from South Australia, Taylor Lewis. The coach from Victoria, Sue Rose. The 2016-17 under girls Australian All-Stars. Congratulations once again. We move now to our final division, the 17 and under boys. And let's hear it once again, ladies and gentlemen, for the winners, Western Australia. The player of the series in equal second position on 8 points from New South Wales Cyclones, Henry Rails, and from Western Australia, Noah Criddle-White. The player of the series on 11 votes from the New South Wales Cyclones, James Britnell. Well done, James. The 2016-17 and under Australian All-Star team. From the Australian Capital Territory, Tyler Van Leeuwen. From Western Australia, Ethan Claw. From Western Australia, Noah Criddle-White. From the New South Wales Cyclones, James Britnell. From the New South Wales Cyclones, Henry Rails. From Queensland, Jun Tominaga. From Victoria, Daniel Juricic. From Western Australia, Joshua Fontana. From Victoria, Daniel Van Hees. And from Victoria, Hugo Ferdinand. The coach from Western Australia, Mark Kulinitz. The 2016-17 under boys Australian All-Star team. That concludes the formalities for our presentation today. This is the third and final national tournament for the year, but there's one more event on the indoor cricket calendar, the Trans-Tasman Series, which will take place in early September. We'll bring that to you via indoor.cricket.com.au and the Cricket Australia Live app. No doubt you've seen some people playing here this week that will one day don the green and gold for Australia. Keep your eye out for that on your calendar. A couple of quick thank yous once again to Destination New South Wales and the Western Plains Regional Council for their support of this event. Also to Burley Seacombe for supplying the match balls. Power Shots Photography for their amazing photographs throughout the week. I know you're all jumping on Facebook and checking those out. So a big thanks to Mick and Emma. Vinesh Bennett and the team at Southern Cross Cricket providing all of our all-star team players with those bats, and of course once again to Greg King and his fantastic team here at Sports World Dubbo. It's been a pleasure having you all here for the 2016 Australian Junior Indoor Cricket Championships. We wish you all the best for the coming year and have a safe trip home. We'll see you in Port Macquarie for the Trans-Tasman. Thank you very much and good afternoon.